Welcome to Rob on Holiday. Today we're taking a tour of the Alhambra in Granada. Before we show you what it's like to visit the Alhambra, let's talk about what you need to do to prepare for your trip. The Alhambra is Spain's most visited monument, so it's important to book tickets in advance. We recommend booking your tickets as soon as you know which dates you will be in Granada. Many different ticket combinations are available on the Alhambra website. We recommend booking the Alhambra General ticket, which allows you to visit all areas of the complex. This ticket costs €19.09 for adults and €12.73 for 12 to 15 year olds, with under 12s being able to visit for free. When booking your tickets, you will have to book a time slot to enter the Nasrid Palaces, one of the three main areas of the Alhambra. When choosing a time, bear in mind that they are strict with their timings, so we recommend getting to the Alhambra at least 1 hour prior to your reserved entry time. You're actually free to visit the other two areas of the complex, the Alcazaba and the Generalife Gardens, at any time throughout the day. One more thing you need to know before your visit: you need to bring your passport with you to the Alhambra. Guards will check it at several checkpoints throughout the complex, and you will be denied entry if you turn up without it, so be warned. The Alhambra is located in an idyllic location on the hillside above Granada, so unless you enjoy long uphill walks, it's unlikely that you'll get to the Alhambra on foot. The best way to get there is in a taxi, which takes approximately 15 minutes from the centre of Granada. Taxis can drop you off at one of two main locations, the Alhambra ticket office or the Puerta de la Justicia. Note that you can only enter at the Puerta de la Justicia if you have pre-booked tickets. Despite having tickets, our driver drops us off at the ticket office. The Alhambra opens at 8:30 AM, so to experience it at its quietest, we decided to get there just before opening. The ticket office is located nearest to the Generalife, but I would recommend doing this part last. So after showing our tickets, we made the 10-minute walk over to the main area of the complex, where you'll find both the Alcazaba and the Nasrid Palaces. So the Alhambra is separated into three areas. You've got the Generalife Gardens, you've got the Nasrid Palaces, and you've got the Alcazaba, which is the fortress section. So what we've done is you have to book tickets, obviously, to come here, and make sure you book your tickets early. But the tickets themselves, you book a time to enter the Nasrid Palaces. So that's 10 o'clock in our case. So what we've done is we've got here at 8:30 when the gardens are open, and we're going to wander around the Alcazaba section for an hour and a half or so, then the Nasrid Palaces, then the Generalife Gardens. So let's go and look at the Alcazaba, which is the fortress. The Alcazaba is a 13th century fortress and the oldest part of the Alhambra. It consists of several towers, all of which offer stunning views back down to the city below. So in the Alcazaba, we've come up the Torre El Cubo. And wow, what a fantastic view over Granada we have here. You can see the cathedral over there, and then all the city laid out before us, and then where we were the other day, the San Nicolas viewpoint across there, where you can see people gathering looking at us, and obviously we're looking down. It's an absolutely breathtaking view. Since we had arrived at opening, we had the Alcazaba almost to ourselves, and it was great to roam around and explore the various towers. You'll need between 45 minutes and 1 hour to explore the Alcazaba, so make sure you leave enough time to fully enjoy the visit before your time slot to visit the Nasrid Palaces. So that was the Alcazaba section, the fortress. We spent roughly 35-40 minutes in there. We went out onto two of the towers, lookout points. There was a slightly taller tower that we didn't go up, saving our energy for the rest of the complex. But even if you went on that tower, 45 minutes is more than enough to take in the breathtaking views over the city of Granada and see the towers and the walkways. And there's a little garden in there, which is really nice as well. So what a great start to the Alhambra. Our time slot to enter the Nasrid Palaces was 10 AM. But we got in line about 10 minutes beforehand, which we recommend that you do as quite a queue builds up at the entrance. I will say that the line wasn't very well organised, so you'll need to be patient as you wait to have your tickets scanned. The Nasrid Palaces are the highlight of a visit to the Alhambra. Built between the 13th and 14th centuries, the Nasrid Palaces are beautifully decorated from floor to ceiling with stunning Islamic architecture. There are three palaces to explore, each leading seamlessly into another. First, you enter the Mexwar Palace, the oldest of the three. The highlight of this section is the Patio de Mexwar, where you'll see some of the first examples of the now iconic Islamic architecture the Alhambra is famous for. Moving on to the Colomares Palace, you'll enter the Patio de los Arayanes and the Salón de los Embajadores. So we're in the Nasrid Palace section now, and the architecture and the decoration in here is absolutely beautiful. Now, on our videos before, we talked about Mudahar art, which is a combination of Islam, Christian and Jewish. And I don't know, I'd have to look this up, I don't know whether this is the original Islamic art inside the Alhambra, or again, it's Mudahar that's been created over the ages after the reconquest. But whatever it is, it's absolutely stunning and beautiful and covers every inch of the wall. Small row of bank of tiles at the bottom, then all the way up to the ceiling. It's absolutely incredible. The final palace is the best, the Palacio de los Leones, which is home to what is, in my opinion, the crown jewel of the Alhambra, the Patio de los Leones. This stunning courtyard is lined on all four sides by incredible intricate Islamic archways, and at its centre is the famous lion fountain, one of the symbols of Granada. The Nasrid Palaces are unsurprisingly the busiest part of the Alhambra, but there is still plenty of room to move about and take your pictures. You may just have to wait a few minutes to enter some of the more opulent rooms. The Nasrid Palaces lead you out onto the Palacio Partal and its gardens. While not officially part of the Nasrid Palaces, this is another fantastic area of the complex to explore. Including the Palacio Partal, we would recommend scheduling an hour to visit the Nasrid Palaces. So we've just come out of the Nasrid Palaces, and what a fabulous experience. There's probably three main rooms or so, like the lion fountain courtyard. I can't remember the names of the others, but every one of them is intricate. There's lots of water features. The artwork, as I said, I don't know whether it's Mudahar or pure Islamic, but it's absolutely fabulous. There are so many rooms where it's covered over the arch, and then also, you know, most of the way up the walls to the ceiling. I mean, you could spend hours in there. It is absolutely breathtaking. Anyway, that's two parts of the Alhambra done, and both of them were about 40 minutes. At the start of this video, you might remember that I mentioned that there are three main sections to the Alhambra to explore. But while there, you also won't want to miss a fourth area, the Palace of Charles V. The palace is square-shaped, but is famous for its circular central courtyard. Construction on the palace began in the 16th century on behalf of Emperor Charles V, who wanted an official residence in Granada close to the Alhambra. Well, you couldn't get much closer than this. After a quick 10-minute visit to the palace, it was time for lunch, and this brings me to another very important part of this video. Before we visited the Alhambra, we had read mixed reviews about the level of facilities available on site. But don't worry, let me reassure you that whilst there isn't a cafe or restaurant per se, there are several places to get food and drink at the complex. The best place to get food in the main section of the Alhambra is at the gift shop opposite the Palace of Charles V. Here you'll find some basic sandwiches, savoury and sweet snacks, and plenty of drinks to keep you going during your visit. Next door, in this same building, you'll find the main toilets of the Alhambra. They are very clean, there's plenty of cubicles to cope with a large amount of tourists visiting. You can also buy a few drinks and snacks from a small stall just outside the Alcazaba. If you're over near the Generalife, there is a small cafe and another block of toilets at the ticket office where we entered the complex. Finally, if you're looking for a more formal dining experience, you could book a table at the Parador restaurant inside the Parador Hotel at the Alhambra, but expect to spend several hours dining here, so we'd only recommend this if you've allowed a full day for visiting the Alhambra. So, as far as food and drink are concerned, it's true that the options are limited, but you're not going to be left hungry or thirsty. Anyway, back to our visit. After a quick lunch, it was time to make the 10-minute walk back over to the Generalife, the Alhambra's gardens. The Generalife was built in the 13th century as a summer residence for the kings of Granada. The gardens themselves are not that impressive, but what is the fantastic view that you get of the rest of the complex. So we walked into the third area of the Alhambra here, the Generalife Gardens, and we're looking back across to the towers of the Alcazaba. The towers of the Alhambra, the main section. And what a view it is. What I love about this view is they're obviously growing something here. So you've got the tilled soil here, then stretching out to the towers, and then beyond that, look at all the churches there over in the Albaicin area. And then, of course, the hills beyond that. Everything about the view is fabulous. As you reach the top of the gardens, you'll arrive at the Palacio de Generalife, a smaller palace with yet more Islamic architecture to admire. After visiting the Nasrid Palaces, you may feel a little underwhelmed in this section, but it's a nice way to end your visit to the Alhambra. We recommend scheduling another hour for the Generalife and Generalife Palace. So, in total, including a break for lunch, you'll want to plan on spending a minimum of 4 hours at the Alhambra. So, that brings us to the final question of the video. Is it worth visiting the Alhambra? I don't think that you need me to tell you that the Alhambra is a must-see attraction on any visit to Granada. The opulence of the Nasrid Palaces combined with the jaw-dropping views from the Alcazaba and the relative serenity of the Generalife make the Alhambra one of the best places to visit in Spain. A successful visit does take a bit of planning, but we hope that this video has provided you with all the information you need to have a fantastic day at the Alhambra. If you're planning a trip to Granada and enjoyed this video, why not check out our full Granada travel guide, where we show you what there is to do in the city beyond the Alhambra. If you've got any questions about visiting the Alhambra, leave them in the comments section below and we'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and hit the bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video. In the meantime, thanks for watching Rom on Holiday, and we'll see you next time.